Well, what do you, tell me, play something.
Play something.
Show me everything you know.
Show me everything you know. Well, I've been just on your site for the last little over a year now, and I've just been doing quite a few songs.
So how'd you find it in the first place? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was just using YouTube to find music, to find songs to learn how to play. The easiest songs I could find, and one of them was "Heart of Gold" by Neil Young.
Oh, sure.
And that was a nice, clever little lick to pick up as a beginner. Yeah. And that really helped a lot.
But when did you start playing? Let's back up a little bit more then.
When I was 16 years old, I got a guitar and I took traditional lessons.
Okay.
And I learned all the basic chords, just the open chords. And learned 2 songs, and the songs he was teaching me were pretty lame. I didn't care for them at all. Yeah. And I didn't like to practice.
Do you remember what they were?
I hate to say this because I know there's a lot of fans out there, but it was a terrible song by Bob Dylan.
Oh.
Nobody feels any pain, and I just wasn't enjoying that.
Yeah, so it wasn't motivating.
I wanted to learn the Beatles. I want to learn Jimi Hendrix and Carlos Santana and all this stuff. That's where I wanted to head.
Yeah,
but he wasn't steering me in that direction. So after about 6 months, I was done.
Oh, yeah.
So here now, fast forward. Now I'm 50.
Yeah,
and. My accountant owns a music studio.
Oh. And
I told him, yeah, I was really thinking of starting guitar up again. So he goes, well, here, I'll start you with this. So this is a Bristol guitar made in China. $200.
Yeah.
Got me the case and everything, and it seems to sound okay.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you play it and tell me how it sounds.
Sounds great. You have elixirs or something, or coated strings on this of some sort, right?
Yes, elixirs, exactly.
Stan, how long have they been on? Because they still sound really good, but that's the thing with those strings is they can stay on for months and still sound pretty new.
I put them on about 2 weeks before the camp.
Oh yeah, so that's like 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sounding great.
Yeah, I wanted to break them in, but still had them pretty new when I went to the camp.
Yeah, this was big. I mean, sounds great. You know, those bass notes are nice and clean, really bright. Wow, $200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fifth string music in Sacramento, California.
Okay.
I guess I put in a plug for my.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
you know, one thing I was really surprised at with the camp was to find out how many people there were, like in Northern California, that I had, you know, like people like you that have never hung out on the forum are people that I wouldn't have known anything about.
Right.
Right. And I know that the people that are vocal and visible on the forum are just there's like 20 of them maybe that are there all the time, you know, or every day they have something to say. But that's like, you know, less than 1% of the people that use the site.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so one of the things for me, I was really excited about meeting other people and finding out why, you know, what they knew about how they ended up at Totally Guitars, which usually it's that same story as they found.
Yeah. So there were several different versions of the song on YouTube, and I saw your version. It was really good. And then there was another
Heart of Gold.
Of Heart of Gold, just to start. And I forget there was another song I was looking at, and you popped up again. And I tried. I was watching how you did it, and it was, this is a little too complicated for me.
Oh.
Because I was just learning how to strum.
Yeah.
And then there was another song, and there you were again. But your versions always sounded the best. Yeah, until you sang.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, Neil.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you know, yeah.
But what the beauty of it is, you know you're not a singer, and you don't care.
I don't care.
And that makes it all right. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So then I had started another site, and I joined it.
Uh-huh.
And then as I kept coming back to yours and realizing, wow, I went to your site, and not only do I get the songs sound better because you're playing them more true to the sound that you're supposed to get, but there's the sheet music, the tabs, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
I just decided, wow, I've got to join Neil's site.
Oh, good.
And then I've never looked back. There's just so much of the site left in front of me that I'm always adding. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to be. You know, as accurate as possible. Sometimes I want to change things, like from how the original went. And I'll usually have a good reason for it, and Other times, but most of the time, I want to at least present the, here's how they really did it. You don't necessarily have to do it this way, and it might be really hard, but this is what they were doing. Now, some strumming songs can be really simple. Some of Neil Young's songs are really simple, but actually very few, it's like Helpless and Only Love Can Break Your Heart are kind of like examples of his easier ones.
Mm-hmm.
But his picking and stuff like My Hey Hey and Old Man and Tell Me Why and all that kind of stuff is definitely a notch, a couple notches up, and really good challenge for most people. Especially beginners.
Yeah.
And so he's I learned a ton of stuff as a teenager from his albums and his songs and stuff. It was I still love listening to him.
Yeah.
So what kind of shape is Heart of Gold in now?
I'm having a little trouble with it, just a little bit.
Do you do the harmonica parts?
I wish I could. I'd love to learn how to do that.
Yeah, because it's not particularly difficult, but you have to practice the harmonica just separately and figure it out. You only have so many notes you can play, so there's only 10 holes on the harmonica. So there's 20 notes, and but learning to play stuff like that is not too difficult.
It's not real difficult, and it gets you started playing something that you really enjoy right away.
Yeah. So here's a couple things you could do. One thing I'd like to see you do right off the bat is looser wrist. Your hand, you're a little stiff right here.
Okay.
It's looking a little bit more like this. Now this is exaggerating, but you can see like I have no break in my wrist right there.
Yes.
Okay. Try to get a little bit more. It's more rotational. Yeah. Okay. More of that, and maybe hold the pick a little looser, like almost where it's going to fall out of your hand.
Okay.
Because the tighter you hold it, the more that translates into tightness all the way up your arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So try it again, just at the beginning. Just go that far.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing. Try to open your hand a little bit more too. Don't make a. You're not really doing this.
Okay.
But even your fingers kind of curled up like that help tighten up everything. So it's kind of like you want this to be like your arm's just going to fall off. Okay.
A little nervous too.
Me too. It's okay. We can share that. And then the last thing on this is with the first two strokes in there, aim more for the bass notes before you aim for the higher notes later. So kind of focus that strumming on just the low notes for the first two strokes. Yeah, and only two. Now that was much better. Also better sound. The difference between holding the pick tight and strumming the strings like that and holding it loose and being flexible is huge, and you got a much softer, better, like a better blended sound across the strings right there by being looser here. I don't know if you
sound. Well, I heard it. Yeah.
Okay, good, because that was like way obvious. That's like, oh, that's much better sound. Yeah. Try it again. Okay. Again, very loose on the wrist and just aim for the first. Yeah. Then we'll talk about that part separately. We'll get back to that in a second. Do it one more time. That's great. When it gets, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. I was gonna say, normally I would recommend playing the E minor 7 like with these three fingers, but in this particular,
the reason I've been doing it is because then it's there for the D.
It's because it's already there for the D. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not the right way to play.
Well, as easily as you just put down this one, I'm going to suggest you change because if I was going to say I know it's easier to do this, but that's it does,
because I should be able to get to that.
And that's the other thing is you don't need to be back at E minor 7 when you come out of the D. You only need to be at E minor, right? So this doesn't have to be back on when you come out of the D, and that puts you in better position to get that happening there.